икру зажаренная продается. А, мы вчера здесь были.
Да. Все закрыто было.
Пасту? А здесь что? Что-то покупать?
Нет. Завтра нам надо автобус.
Мне здесь сидеть?
Да, я приду.
Не закрыт дверь. Тебе надо узнать насчет автобуса.
Подарок.
А, да? Жаль, он не захотел фотографию сделать. Так он говорит, что надо в Чапате, что в Чапате работать надо, или он узнает вообще. That's all?
Yes, that's all. Can't wait to enter in the car. Yeah. For how much?
They are selling a 30.
Huh?
They are selling a 30.
There's a small bucket and a bigger one.
The small one.
Что она говорит? Ты не понимаешь? Покупать? She's buying.
And kuno in the sun.
She has changed. Yeah, the other one is for 20. I got to get for 25. No, they could have. So, sure, hey, look at the price, what you want.
Put that thing here, you.
And they're telling me what somebody shopping. At home, people don't eat.
Don't eat
At home, huh?
at home. Ah,
Mom
it's
doesn't
very-
like, Lulu doesn't like. So each time he buys avocado, he brings some for me. And each time I buy, I give Mom to give him some.
Ah,
I love avocado.
yes, it's so tasty.
It's so nice.
So nice.
And my friend stays here, somewhere here.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen, we could have bought onion here. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, how much?
It's cheaper. The bunch she came with, that one we bought for 10 kwacha. They were
Yes, for
but
10.
those were big. These are small.
Ah, this is small.
I just buy one for this girl. One fresh. Isn't eating bananas. They are cheap here. The onion. I didn't know.
I told you.
I think maybe. But Kanyambo. This one. Maybe I get one bunch. So I'm already close behind and I've got like a so opening it.
Okay.
I'll just get one bunch. Kanyambo. And I refused when she came. Okay? This woman.
Tenge photos.
Umbase kule window ma.
Ah, imwe. Coping money ya bwanji. Ni wandani wakamba uti copy kufuna coping uchoka kono. Coping money.
The other one, it's very clever. The other one, right now, I have to get into quieter. Because the other one, and she should bring some photos. They want to see them.
It's video.
I did a video. I did a video, guys. No, this was I was like, and it was I can't
Ah. You make my photo?
Yes, I want to get a photo of you.
It's okay.
Give me your phone. May I want to get photos with your phone. May I get either Bluetooth. Diamond.
This is video.
You from Kopa was to come.
Don't scare. You don't want photo.
So for a photo,
It's video. Just video. It's nice.
Iwezeka bakukopegwa mbele kwa
You want photo?
Islamic State for 3 years. The destruction of Mosul's cultural heritage came to the attention of the British Museum, who trained some Iraqi women in archaeological reconstruction.
Between the rebels was heritage.
Training to save the treasures of Iraq on the BBC World Service. Sunday at 13 GMT.
Outlook. This is a mobile phone recording of a Malawi investment Lazarus outside of Erdogan. That video changed his life. Things have been tough for him. He has albinism and been ostracized and in pain.
At that time, I didn't have friends. I was also sleeping in a house without a door, and I didn't have much to eat. My skin was covered in blisters because here in Malawi, the sunshine is very harsh. People really didn't treat me like a human being.
The video was spotted by a big-time producer.
People were saying, how is this guy we see basking on the streets having professionals come to record him?
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
It's the story of a life transformed with a cameo from Donna.
BBC News. Hello, I'm Jerry Smith. The United Nations Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet says thousands of former Islamic State fighters and their families who are detained in Syria and Iraq must face trial or be released. Speaking at a meeting of the UN Human Rights Council, Mrs. Bachelet said most were Syrian or Iraqi, but many came from other countries. She called on the countries of origin of foreign fighters to take responsibility for them.
States have important responsibilities for their own nationals. If citizens are suspected of committing serious crimes in another country or detained on any grounds, the state of origin should make all efforts to ensure that they will be treated in accordance with international law.
Mrs. Bachelet said among them were thousands of children, many living in substandard conditions, who should be repatriated. The US is due to further tighten its economic sanctions on Iran. As the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, is in the Gulf to discuss the crisis with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Russia says it will counter any new sanctions. Sebastian Marshall reports.
The US says the new sanctions it's due to impose on Iran will be significant. The aim is to maintain what Washington has described as maximum pressure on Tehran, despite President Trump's last-minute decision not to launch missile strikes last week. The Iranians have now denied that the substitute action ordered by Mr. Trump, the cyber attack on Iranian weapon systems, actually took place. Mike Pompeo is likely to give further calls for the strongest possible action against Iran from the Saudis and Emiratis. But Russia has expressed its dissent, with a top official saying that Moscow and its partners will take steps to counter any new US sanctions on Iran.
The British television channel Sky News says it will cancel a live debate between the two Conservative candidates hoping to replace the Prime Minister Theresa May if the frontrunner does not agree to take part. The debate has been scheduled for tomorrow, but Boris Johnson has so far declined the interview. Jeremy Hunt earlier called his rival a coward for avoiding the debate.
He's refusing to do any difficult media interviews, and when you're Prime Minister, you're going to have to make some very big decisions almost immediately on Brexit. And I think it's very, very important that the country knows what decisions he would actually take.
One of Mr. Johnson's supporters, Matt Hancock, rejected claims that he's avoiding questions. A major survey has found a sharp rise in the number of people across the Middle East and North Africa who see themselves as non-religious. A poll from BBC Arabic of 25,000 people suggests 18% of young people hold secular views, up 7% from 9 years ago. This is reflected in falling trust in the main Islamist movements, the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas and Hezbollah. You're listening to World News from the BBC. The tycoon at the centre of a recent political crisis in Moldova has resigned as leader of one of the main political parties. Vladimir Plahotniuk said his Democratic Party had been under enormous pressure and that it had been wrongly targeted by those seeking to fight him. He left Moldova earlier this month. The Kazakh authorities have ordered the evacuation of a southern town of 44,000 residents after a series of blasts at a nearby munitions depot. The Kazakh Defense Ministry said it is unaware of any casualties, but local media report that 10 people have been taken to hospital. Dozens of extra police have been sent to the town of Aris to maintain law and order. The authorities in Ethiopia say 6 people are now known to have died in connection with a failed coup attempt in the Amhara region on Saturday. Police say the bodyguard who killed the army chief in Addis Ababa shot himself after the assault. Dan Yubelton is in Addis Ababa.
In a press briefing in the capital Addis Ababa, the Commissioner of Police said the killings of the Chief of Staff in Addis Ababa and the head of the Northern Amhara region in the city of Bardar were coordinated by Brigadier General Asamoah Sege, security head of the region, who is still on the run. Police say the killings were aimed at taking over the Amhara regional government, and the attackers detained security officials in the governor's office before killing him and his advisor.
Wildlife officials in Nepal are launching a study to find out why an unusually high number of endangered one-horned rhinos are dying in a national park in the south of the country. More than 40 rhinos have died in the past 11 months, triggering concerns about their long-time survival. And Nepali officials and experts from the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the Zoological Society of London will be part of the study. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Jo Fidgen, and this is Outlook, the programme that takes you on a tour of the world through incredible personal stories. Today we'll be embroidering in a refugee camp in Jordan, in bed with an
And what about the particular situation in the DRC where there's conflict and where the public are sceptical, they almost can't deal with the outbreak?
It has to be a national program, i.e. bringing on board each and every sector of society, because this is a situation that government cannot handle alone. Even with the support of development partners and international NGOs, there is no way that they will be able to address a situation of this.
Мы в России только на Новый год ананасы покупаем, на праздник.
That is where contact tracing takes place, that is where the disease affects people, and that is where the response of the individuals will to a very large extent determine whether the disease will spread or will not spread.
Dr. Kaifal Amara. Recent history with Ebola suggests rumours and panic spread even faster than the virus, amplifying social disruption and economic losses. Not for the first time, trade may be lost just from the uncoordinated, if understandable efforts of people to avoid becoming infected.
In the direction of perhaps cutting interest rates, which of course they're not there yet, but this looks a bit like the Fed responding to Mr. Trump. I think it's more a response to his policies, namely of course the ongoing trade war with China. I think Trump would like to see the Fed continue to go further in that direction. It doesn't make much difference to markets, but it's also worrying to see the head of the US on loggerheads with the central bank.
I know Italian bond prices have been a concern, seem to have taken a slight turn for the better.
Yes, the EU is really starting to ease off on its budget spat with Italy, which is another long-running problem for markets. The EU's been pushing Italy to reduce its budget deficit and rein in spending. And the more conciliatory approach, perhaps the EU is aware of how far they're pushing and the worries this causes. And as a result, investors have moved back into Italian bonds instead of buying them. When you buy bonds, of course, the yield goes down and reduces the borrowing pressure on the Italian government.
And very quickly, Chris, Turkish lira is looking a bit stronger.
Yes, a win for the opposition in Istanbul perhaps raises the hope that there won't be such an authoritarian move in Turkey, and that maybe some of Erdogan's push will be limited, but that there's signs of perhaps more opposition in Turkey than we previously feared, I think.
Thanks for that, Chris Beecham from IG Index.
the numbers. In London, the 100 up 0.2% at the moment at 74.20. In New York, the Dow is up 0.3 of 1% at 26,784. Now, as European Union, or the European Union, threats to impose sanctions on Turkey, it's reminded us that the political and economic future of the Mediterranean islands of Cyprus is still unresolved after over 40 years in limbo. The latest flashpoint, so-called illegal drilling off the island by the self-declared Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, a Turkish-occupied territory to the north of a still United Nations policed border, is viewed as illegal. It's long been under an international embargo. So, you might ask, what is it like running a business in an unrecognised nation? Well, the BBC's Ivana Davidovich